Do you have a
No.
comment about
I don't wanna
the
do that.
I see.
No.
Okay.
Oh, are you kidding? We're so easy. We'd be jiggy with just about anything.
Yeah. No, I'd like to open it up to all kinds of authors. I had lunch with Lorna, or coffee with Lorna Landvik the other day, and I would love to have.
Well, I had coffee with
Michael Conway.
Shaban the other
Right.
day.
I had coffee with my wife the other day.
day.
We had a lot of fun. And we had. I forget
I'm
what
not
we
name
talked about,
dropping.
But I think we should talk about us.
Yes. Okay.
but Let's talk about it.
All right.
Just so people know us a little bit better, where we came from and what exactly it is that we do, because there may be people who are tuning into this who haven't the slightest idea
Who we
what the
are.
Minnesota Crime Wave is all
And what
about.
they're discovering is that we don't either.
We're a work in progress.
That's right.
Well, I have to admit, as I grow older, time does funny things to me. And it seems like only yesterday that we gathered at Ellen's house,
Yeah.
cracked open 2 or 3 bottles of wine, and complained bitterly about our lot as authors. And out of all of that complaining, we made a decision.
A good one.
A good one, and the decision was to create the organization, which we now call the Minnesota Crime Wave. Thanks to you. That was your suggestion.
That was your title, wasn't it?
Yeah, I'm good at titles.
You're good at
Yeah.
titles.
Not much else.
And we,
Silence of the Loons.
Yeah.
We, as I recall anyway, we began because each of us was promoting individually and using up a lot of time and energy doing that. And it seemed to us to make a lot of sense to combine our resources and our
Absolutely.
energies and do this all together. Do you remember our first gig?
Oh, no.
Oh yeah.
At that incredibly supportive store called
Once Upon a Crime.
Oh, Once Upon a
yes.
Crime.
So that Steve Stillwell could tell us what we were doing wrong.
That's right.
And he did. too,
And he
didn't
did, yes.
That's right, yeah.
You know, we've had all kinds of book reviews. That was
Yeah,
a
that-
review of our presentation,
Yeah.
which it went a long way to helping us. But, you know, we started modestly. We did a lot of local libraries and local bookstores, and slowly our reputation spread, and we began moving out regionally. And then
And then,
we went national.
National.
4 national
Yeah,
tours
book
under
tours,
our
yeah,
belts
yeah.
now.
before that, we added a few things. I'm thinking, you know, we call this the Minnesota Crime Wave. I'm beginning to think we should start calling it the Minnesota Crime Wave Enterprises. We seem to have so many things going on.
We
Yeah.
are doing an enormous
Website.
amount.
But you know, there's a synergy, I think, between the three of us, and because we've become such good friends, and because we clearly like each other so much, and we like traveling
She's
together.
still-
Yeah, but we're also, you know, and we do go and do events that are very funny and very sometimes silly, but we're also very serious about our writing, and I think that comes through in our presentations, our friendship and all of that.
You know, you're right, but and I think that one of the things that makes it work too is the fact that we don't all write the same kind of mystery.
Right.
We all write mysteries, but we don't. You know, there's similarities, but they're really quite different.
I like it because I think we complement each other well. We all bring different strengths to the group.
Well,
In
maybe
fact, we all have different responsibilities.
talk about
that? Carl, what is it that you do for the group?
I don't know. What is it that I do for you?
You do everything for the group.
Let's dump this dead weight.
Yeah. No, he does everything.
You are amazing that way, Carl.
Well, in fact, I'm kind of like a business manager in that I keep the books, and I write the checks, and I.
How was your last trip to Aruba, by the way?
It was wonderful.
It was.
And, you know, I got to write it off. And
That was amazing.
it hardly bothered my bank account at all. And but you know, now we have a website, and we have, which is MinnesotaCrimeWave.org. And we have, starting with the ubiquitous 3 W's. And we have a newsletter that comes out 3 times a year. And
Innumerable promotional materials.
innumerable promotional
Yeah, that's a
materials.
mouthful.
Yeah, we just did another new one.
We do. We have a poster.
2 posters we've done, and
This is
the
very
tours.
self-congratulatory.
No, but
The
I mean,
2 anthologies.
This is the way we've divided it up. I mean, Kent does all the cold calling. we're going to go somewhere.
Well, I did all of the cold calling at first because nobody had heard of us, and so I was willing to call places and say, hey, you want to have this unknown group visit?
Yeah, exactly.
But we're so well known now that my role has really changed. I don't cold call anymore. What I do is sort of try to manage our schedules to see if we can fit in all of the requests for events that we get.
And I do the press packets.
And an astounding job you do.
Thank you.
Like I said, it's very self-congratulatory. And I take care of the schedule and find tents for us to sleep in at night.
We should mention the anthologies, too.
Oh, the anthologies.
Yes.
And that's the other thing we did, isn't it?
It is.
We created 2 anthologies with asking all of our good friends in the mystery community to do some writing for us. And we found a Twin Cities publisher, a Minnesota publisher, Noden Press, who put it together. And wonder of wonders, it actually made some money. One of the interesting things about this group is that we've been willing to look at each other and say, well, let's try that and see what happens.
Yeah.
Actually, Carl usually says, let's try this.
Yes, yeah, right.
Sort of
And see what happens.
Yeah.
See what,
Yeah.
Well, it's...
And this is another example of, well, let's try that and see what happens.
Well, one of the questions I was going to ask you, and it really relates to this, is what has the crime wave done for you individually?
Oh, it's kept me going. I mean, you can burn out so easily trying to do promotion. And for me, it's made promotion fun again.
Good. That's good. Well, I think that not only the financial part of it, but the camaraderie and the fact that we travel together and we go to bookstores and nobody shows up to see us, we can blame somebody else.
And then we go out to
It's your
dinner.
fault.
And then we go out to dinner. And we say, well, that's okay. Let's go
Yeah.
and drink, have dinner, and we'll think about what we're going to do next time or something like that. So it really works quite well.
What did it do for you?
In 20 seconds.
In 20 seconds, what it did for me is it doubled the appearances that I do in a year, which complicates things enormously. But it has made the traveling aspect of what we do so much more enjoyable. I don't have to do it alone anymore.
Well,
And I
as
get
Click
to
and
travel in
Clack
such scintillating company.
As Click and Clack say, you've wasted a perfectly good half hour with us. So we're going to go now, and we'll hope that there'll be enough people interested in this to come back and see us again. We'll be back very soon with new topics, different guests, because we've got a lot more to talk about. I mean, we can talk your arm off. We'll talk to you until you fall asleep. So what you should do is check out our websites for locations of our upcoming events when you can actually meet us in person. Oh, that'll be fun. And if you have a suggestion for a book, a guest, or a topic that you'd like us to explore, hey, send us an email, minnesotacrimewave@yahoo.com. And always, read more mysteries.